This is Juan Brown in rainy Northern California, where we're finally getting the rain we need just to get caught up to our average rainfall. But in Southern California, it's a case of too much, too soon. This is Juan Brown on the Blanco-Lirio channel with a quick update on the flooding situation in Southern California, Santa Barbara, Montecito area. It is Wednesday, the 10th of January. 15 folks have died and 300 folks are still trapped or missing in the Santa Barbara area. Let me give you a little background. We talked about this in a video last November, flooding that occurs after wildfire activity, and now it's happened. These floods are a direct result of the Thompson fire. The Thompson fire that occurred just a few months ago in December, burning over 250,000 acres, Los Padres National Forest, right north, right behind Santa Barbara. This would represent the west end of the fire where the mudslides are occurring, and this is a very common occurrence in California after wildfire activity. Remember, the Thompson fire was ignited in the high wind events, the Santa Ana wind events in December. It was a wind-driven event of extreme heat and speed. The terrain around the Santa Barbara area is steep, loose, rocky terrain covered in what I call high-octane chaparral. It's mostly just brush, no trees, and this brush commonly burns, and when it does, it burns extremely hot. And the Thompson fire, of course, was no exception. If you look on the map, the Google Maps with topography, you'll see that where the mudslides are occurring right near the Pacific Ocean, up to the high terrain where the Thompson fire was burning along the ridge tops there's a distance of only about 3.5 miles, and the terrain rises from sea level to up nearly over 3,000 feet. That loose, rocky terrain, once scorched, completely burned by these wildfires, once it's impacted by rainfall, it becomes loose and flows very easily. The rain event that just hit the Santa Barbara area was over 5 inches of rain in a 2-day period, including one deluge that moved through last night, producing over 1 inch of rain per hour. That's what got the soil loosened up and moving and heading downstream. These kind of flows can flow at a rate as fast as a human walking or trotting downhill to as fast as 20-25 miles per hour. These debris are typically on the leading edge of them. They are the wood and debris is on the leading edge of it, so that means logs and trees and that sort of thing, crushing or bulldozing everything in its way, and that is followed by the wall of water. Looking at the pictures, you can see this flood hit these houses in these low-lying areas and hit as high as the rafter line, busting down the windows and penetrating the houses with water and debris, trapping those occupants. Other houses were completely moved off of their foundations. So let me show you some pictures that kind of illustrate the situation in Southern California, Santa Barbara area. Here's some drone footage from 2015 in the same area showing one of these floods occurring. Only through recent technology have we been able to capture these floods as they happen. Of course, the flood that happened in Montecito occurred overnight. Here's a good look at the steep terrain just to the north of Santa Barbara. And you can see in the brown areas that have been previously burned. Here's the Google map showing how close the high terrain is to the ocean and even closer to the town. Here's a satellite picture of the wind-driven fires of December, clearly showing the strong offshore breeze. Here's a picture of the wind gust map indicating up to, well, nearly 50 knots of wind during those fires. Here's a map of the 280,000 acre Thomas fire surrounding the town of Ojai. Note also all the historic fire activity in the area. And here's the west end of the fire just north of Montecito. These illustrate the kind of conditions that exist after the fire burns through. And here's some current pictures showing the situation in the Montecito, Santa Barbara area. some of the boulders that are being moved, and there is the debris on the leading edge of the flow crashing into the houses. Here you can see the mud line along the White House there, indicating how high the water got. Here you can see the debris flow forming an alluvial fan at the bottom of the mountain and fires erupting from transformers exploding further upstream. If you found this information more helpful and interesting than anything you might find on mainstream media, hit like and subscribe. I got to finish up doing my homework on the forensics report on the Oroville Dam, and we'll be doing a short series of videos on those findings as well. See you here.